Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing a 9-month follow-up on the Otterbox Defender Pro for the iPhone 11, as well as an unboxing and review of the Otterbox Defender Series for the iPhone 11. I previously done 2 separate videos on the Defender Pro and how I really like this for my phone. However, if you look back, about every 6 months or so, the case actually cracks and becomes damaged and needs to be ultimately replaced. And so recently my case cracked again for I guess the 3rd time at this point, really around the 6-month time point, and I couldn't find the Defender Pro series online, and so I ended up going with their classic Defender series. And so what we'll do in this video is really I'll just show you the current phone case, how it's held up, and then we'll look at the phone underneath. I really haven't taken it out recently, and then I'll walk through kind of putting on the Defender series and showing you side-by-side comparison as compared to the Defender Pro series. As always, if you're interested in purchasing this, there will be links in the description below for where you can find it on Amazon. Okay, so here are the 2 cases we're going to be reviewing today. On the left is the new Otterbox Defender series. We'll go over that in a second. But here's my current phone, which is the iPhone 11. I've had this case, which is the Otterbox Defender Pro series on it for about 8 months now. If you look back, I did a video on this about 8 months ago, and before that it was about 6 months before that. I've had this phone probably about 3 years now. The screen protector is not included with the Otterbox anymore, and so I've had a Walmart screen protector on it for a while. You can see it's lifted on the edges, but I haven't really messed with replacing it. And then every 6 months or so, what you'll find with the Defender Pro is that it cracks in the plastic case underneath it. And so here's what it looks like as far as the case. So there's kind of like scuffs and damage, like routine wear on the rubber on the outside, but nothing where it's torn or anything like that. It's held up pretty well from that standpoint as far as the rubber. And then the only complaint I have is that after the case cracked is where you have the power outlet. You'll see underneath this, but the plastic that usually holds this piece for the rubber holding it down cracked as well. And so this rubber piece is sticking out, which is why I'm getting this new case on the phone now. But that's really it as far as that. The rubber's held up really well. The Defender Pro series, they advertised for having a like an antimicrobial layer. I don't know if that's really true or not, but what you'll notice is the only difference in the case as compared to the Defender series is that it has some ribs which provide a little bit more texture and grip on the back here, and then they report that it's antimicrobial. Otherwise the cases should be identical. As far as underlying this, basically you have this rubber outer layer that kind of is the sleeve. There's no damage or anything like that. And then what you'll see is here is usually the plastic case that goes or snaps onto the phone. And so what you'll notice is pretty consistently what happens is this bottom part here where it becomes like isn't a solid segment cracks pretty regularly. So it happened on my prior case, and then it also cracks in this upper area here where you have the volume control. And so what you'll find is that when you lift this off, this piece here is basically cracked, and that's identically where it broke before the past 2 times, virtually in this exact same place here. And then when it becomes looser or weakened, it'll crack here. And more recently what I had was the phone was actually popping out here at this bottom edge. So that's kind of where it happens every 6 months for some reason with how I use it. Otherwise the rest of the plastic is intact and is held up, it's snapped into place. And then kind of this is the backing here. And so everything's kind of held up except for that front piece. The back piece has been fine. As far as the phone itself, so as you can tell, like Otterbox used to have screen protectors, but now they don't include that in the case. And so you do have to get a screen protector separately. I've had this one on my phone for 3 years now. There's some areas where it's lifted up, but I haven't really messed with it because I don't want to cause damage to underlying screen. I could always do that if I wanted. And as far beyond that, the screen or the phone itself has had minimal damage. On the camera here, there's a little bit of scuff marks on the edges of the camera, but the photo quality has remained the same or has had no issues. The reason why you see that is that the Otterbox case is not actually, it provides provides no protection there, so if you hit something into the camera area, it may potentially cause scuffs and damage. So that's one drawback. However, for the photo quality, it maintains that, makes sure that the camera is actually exposed so that you can actually use it. Beyond that, the phone actually looks good. So what I'll do real quick is I'm gonna just clean up the phone, and then we'll unbox the Defender Series and throw it on the phone. All right, so here's the phone after cleaning it. It looks pretty much brand new. There's some like fingerprint stuff from just like scuff marks and stuff like that, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's held up really well. As far as the packaging, when you purchase this on Amazon, I actually purchased this for $10 about 2 months ago. I just haven't put it on my phone. I'll leave a link below. Currently, the price is up to $35, which is a little bit expensive for this phone case. Usually, the retail price is about like $40 to $50, so really shop around and find where you can get it for cheaper. But on Amazon, they're not going to give you the retail packaging. It's just gonna be this bag container, but virtually it's going to be the same as if you purchased it in a store or with the retail packaging from Otterbox. The advantage of this plastic bag is it just minimizes waste. You don't have all the plastic wrap and the vacuum packing. As far as when you purchase the Defender Series, you're going to have this clip case, which you can actually clip the case for putting it on your waistband or something like that. To be honest, I have never used this. I think it's kind of dorky or whatever, so I always throw this out and I never use it. You could, they report that you could, once it's in the case here, use it as a stand to a certain extent to hold it up, but I've never really messed with it. So I've never used the actual waistband thing, but that comes with that. Otherwise, the case itself is going to be virtually identical to what you just saw for the Otterbox Defender Pro. So it's going to have like a insulated back for added protection within the plastic area, and then there's going to be rubber along all the edges. As compared to the Otterbox Defender Pro, as you can see, there are no ridges on it, and so there's no ridges here, and reportedly it doesn't have that antimicrobial protection, but otherwise it's virtually identical, so there's not really any difference. If there is a difference in price, I'd lean towards just going with the Defender Series, because as far as protection and the overall design, it's virtually identical. So as you can tell, after about not 8 months of use, the rubber does get a little bit floppier, but and like it's looser, but that's kind of what's going to happen with routine wear and tear. So that's it. As far as putting it on the phone, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to lift the rubber on one edge and then kind of pull it out of the area where it's secured. Okay. And that's that. And then on the edges here, there's going to be little clasp mechanisms or clips that clip into place. So very carefully, just go around all the edges, unclip these, make sure you don't snap it. Okay, and then it'll lift up like this. Now, as far as putting the phone in here, basically just take your phone, slide it directly on. All right, and then make sure you don't have this flipped around. There's going to be a bottom part here where the power outlet is. That'll slip right on top of here. Okay, and then you're going to go around the edges and basically just snap this into place. So all these areas are going to snap directly into place, and then it's secure and snug. So that's everything as far as installation. Everything's snapped into place. As you can tell, now that you can see compared to the old version, the place where it breaks consistently is actually a weak point that happens right here, where you have your switch that goes on and off for the volume. And so this, for some reason, consistently cracks. It's just a weaker area in the plastic here, so it's not as secure, so it breaks there. And then the other area where it broke for me, both times, is actually here at the bottom. So once this kind of breaks in one place, it loosens up this whole area and it'll break. I get about 6 months of use out of this, and it consistently broke for each other time. So that's it. And then what you do is you put the rubber back on the edges here, and then just, oops, sorry, just make sure that it's flush with all the edges. So it's a little bit difficult the first time as far as getting it on, because it's a little bit tighter as far as the rubber, but basically just get it all the way secure onto the plastic part, and that's basically it. So this is what it looks like as far as the case. So it's very snug. It's less loose as compared to the prior one. It's very sleek, elegant from that standpoint. And you have access to your home button here. You have access to your volume button here. If you raise or lower it, you have access to the volume controls by pressing it up or down there. And then as far as your power outlet, it's going to be at the bottom here, and you can get into the lightning port there. So this is for the iPhone 11. I highly recommend the Otterbox. I've had this for 3 years. I absolutely love Otterbox because it protects my phone. I've never had a phone break. I consistently drop my phone probably at least once or twice a week, and I've never had any damage on it. So for me, it's worth the extra. Like, some people complain that this is bulky, but I find that the added protection and guaranteeing that my phone does not break is very important. And so I highly recommend the Otterbox Defender Series. I've used it on my prior phones in the past, and I've had no complaints whatsoever. The fact that the screen protector is separate is a little bit cumbersome and annoying as compared to in the past, but you can easily get a screen protector aftermarket wherever, and it works very well. So that's the Otterbox Defender Series. If you have questions, comments, you can post them below, but I highly recommend it for an iPhone 11 or any other iPhone. I can't speak to newer models, but from my experience, I have no complaints. The only complaint is that it breaks every 6 months or so. What I do, Otterbox does provide a warranty for the first year. So for the first time that I got this replaced, I got it replaced through Otterbox. But this last time I purchased a new one, just because out of respect for the company, they do have to make money, and I can't just keep on going through the warranty. So anticipate that you will have to replace this in about 6 months or so with routine use and wear and tear. But it will protect your phone, and I highly recommend it in general. So if you have questions, comments, post them below. Otherwise, I hope this video helped, and I'll provide a link below for where you can find the Defender Series, at least for the iPhone 11. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. If you like this video, hit the like button, and as always, if you're interested in subscribing, subscribe as well.